Hello, everybody. It's Daniel here, and welcome to Emotional English Podcast, the podcast where we learn an English language effortlessly, emotionally, filled with energy, and of course, positively. Welcome, everybody. It's Daniel here, and I'm glad to celebrate another chance to teach you English. And I'm a little bit sick today, so I'm sorry for my voice. It could be a little bit tough to speak for me, but it's fine. I want to discuss another great topic with you guys. And today is the philosophy day. So I want to discuss some philosophical ideas of Plato. And maybe after this little podcast episode, you would go and read the Plato's book and you will face his ideas. It's an amazing author, and I'm in love with his understanding of life and with his beautiful ideas. And I want to describe to you 5 the most interesting facts about Plato and his ideas. But before I start, I want to say that this week, on the 9th of February, right? Yes, 9th of February, we will have an event, Emotional English event. The previous event was amazing. We had so much fun. And the 9th of February, we'll have another great event online. So just keep up with Emotional English, and you will know our next date of event. I will announce it next podcast episode. So let's stay in touch and listen to Emotional English. If you want to check what events we're having right now, go to emotionalenglish.ru and check the events section. All right. So 5 interesting facts about Plato and his ideas. Yeah. We will announce these ideas first. I will say all 5. And next, we will discuss each of these interesting ideas. The first idea is the theory of forms from Plato. The second idea is the allegory of the cave. It's a very popular myth of Plato about the cave, and we'll discuss this allegory of the cave. The next is the philosopher kings. It means the idea that the kings should be philosophers. The next one is the tripartite soul. Tripartite soul. And next is academy, the academy. So we'll discuss the idea of academy, why and for what reason Plato had created the academy. All of that we will discuss this episode. And this is amazing because this is really great and interesting. Let's start. Yes, and let's begin from the first topic, from the first idea of Plato. And this is the idea of forms, the theory of forms. I will read the definition of this idea, and then I will comment it. If we see something new, the new vocab, I can comment the new vocabulary and describe you in a little bit more simple way. So Plato believed that the world we see right now is just a shadow of more real and unchanging world. He called this the world of forms. For example, a beautiful flower in our world is just a reflection of a perfect form of beauty in the higher world. So what does it mean? As you see, Plato, he had believed that nowadays, the world we live in right now is the representation or the reflection of a perfect world. We have 2 worlds. The perfect world, it's where everything is perfect, like 100% perfection. And there is a realia, right? Or the real world where everything is trying to be perfect or trying to grow and achieve perfection. And the theory of forms describes this whole process. So if you see the flower in the real world, it's the reflection. It's what you see in the mirror when you see yourself. It's a reflection. It's the representation of an idea. The flower is beautiful, you can say. If the flower is beautiful, it represents one form of an idea. And ideas are perfect. They cannot be improved because they are perfect already. So if you see the flower, it represents the idea of beauty. The beauty is an idea. It's a perfection. Okay? I hope I explained it in a nice way and you do understand what I mean. Another idea is love. Love is an idea, is a perfect idea of a great relationships between people. Because people, when they love each other, it's the greatest form of relationship. I hope you agree with me. And next, the representation or reflection of love in our world, it could be Jesus. So Jesus reflected life, this idea of love, because everything what he had explained was connected to the form of love. Okay? So that was the theory of forms. And Plato had many, many different descriptions connected with this idea. So that we live in non-perfect world and we're trying to implement the ideas from the perfect world. And everything what is materialized, let's imagine the chair, has an idea of a chair, the perfection, but it's never achievable. It's not possible to achieve the perfect form of chair because the perfect forms live in a perfect world. We can improve our chair day by day. We can make it better. The same with iPhone. You have iPhone 11, then iPhone 12, then iPhone 13, iPhone 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, right? So it means that there is no option to create a perfect phone because you always have an ability to improve it. Yes, I hope you got my point. And in a perfect world, you create the phone and it's already perfect phone. You don't need to improve it because it's perfect enough. It has the idea of perfection inside. So that's what the Plato said. And the second idea is the allegory of the cave. Allegory of the cave, the allegory or the myth of the cave, right? It's a beautiful part. I think seventh book of the government. It's the Plato's book. The seventh chapter. The chapter when you buy the Plato's book, the government, you will see that this book has many books inside, like chapters, big chapters. And one of the chapters, it's the allegory of the cave or the Plato's, the cave myth of the cave. What it is, right, in general. Plato used a story about prisoners in a cave. The prisoners, it's the people who are in prison. You call them prisoners. They sit and they cannot move, Prisoners, they have many, many limitations because they are in the prison. And the prison is the place when everything is under surveillance. So everybody is controlled by the police, by the webcams and everything. Plato used a story about prisoners in a cave. So the cave is like a prison for these prisoners. To explain how people might be trapped by their own ignorance. Yeah, we have some new vocab here. The first vocab I see here is the word trapped. Trap is the place where let's say you touch the trap and you caught by the trap. Let's imagine this. If you have seen some movies, when you step somewhere and something starts to move and you have a problem after all, maybe Indiana Jones movies, you walking normally and then you put your leg on a stone and then you hear this clicking noise, like click, something is clicking. it's a trap, you call, because maybe the arrow comes to you and you almost dead because that was a trap. It was a special dangerous spot on the ground. When you step on it, something bad happens. It's a trap. So, and the cave was explained by Plato because people might be trapped, might be placed in a very bad place, in a situation, bad situation, by their own ignorance. The ignorance. What is ignorance? Ignorance, it's when you don't pay attention to what is real and what is not real. Ignorance is the belief in the lie. If you believe in lie, you are an ignorant person. If you believe in the truth, in the good place, in the good thing, in the good, so you are not ignorant. Ignorance connected with misinterpretation. If you do something without understanding, if you are not developed enough, if you have not enough knowledge or wisdom, you are ignorant. But if you have enough knowledge and wisdom, and you have learned many books, and you've taught many lessons, you've been taught many lessons, it means you are not ignorant anymore. You understand the realia of world, right? You're not ignorant person anymore. So ignorance connected with your knowledge and with your wisdom. You know the difference between wisdom and knowledge, right? Knowledge is just the information you have learned, and wisdom is the practical information you have passed through. So if you do have knowledge and wisdom, you're not ignorant because you understand many things of life. And Plato, he believed that the cave, he explains, is how people might be trapped by their own ignorance. The whole story, the whole myth is about how people might be trapped, might be closed with their own ignorance, with their own misunderstanding of life. The prisoners only see shadows on the wall and think they are real. Plato suggested that philosophers like himself could help people to see the true reality outside the cave. The whole idea or allegory of the cave is about what is right and what is wrong. When we see and when we are trapped in the cave, we are in the prison of our own mind. We do not see the reality in the case, how the reality really works. We see the misinterpretation of reality. We see the lie. And if you believe in lie, you're an ignorant person. But if you try to learn, if you try to develop, if you try to become better and better day after day, you becoming a good person, and you becoming smart, and you becoming a wise person. Your ignorance disappears, and you go out of the cave because you see the real truth. But in Plato's story, in Plato's allegory of the cave, prisoners, they do believe in the shadows, what they see on the wall, right? They look at the wall and they see the shadows, but then they realize one prisoner, he realizes that, oh, it can be wrong, it can be a lie, and then he looked back and he realizes that these shadows on the wall projected by someone. Yeah. And then he understands more. He asks more questions about who project these different shadows on the wall, why they do this. And then he got some understanding, and he tries to go out. He tried to speak with other people in the cave, but it didn't work. And he started his own journey, and he went out from the cave. So that's the idea of the allegory of the cave. So everybody is trapped in this material world, and we need to understand what is real, what is not, and it's all about your development. That's the second general idea of Plato. Read this book, read this part of the book about the cave. You can find it online, the allegory of the cave by Plato, or just the myth of the cave, or the Plato's cave. It's all about the same thing. The next idea is philosophers should be kings, right? So Plato thought that the best rulers would be philosophers because they understand truth and justice. He believed that only those who love wisdom and knowledge should lead the society, as they would make fair and wise decisions. Very beautiful statement by Plato. And the idea here is that Plato thought that the best rulers, the best good people who rule the world would be philosophers, not the people who have money, not the people who have good respect or businessmen. No, it must be philosophers. It should be because people, philosophers, understand the truth, and philosophers understand the justice. Truth is what is right and what is wrong, and justice is the correctness of decision making. So Plato believed that only those who love wisdom, and the people who love wisdom is philosopher, because philo or philia means love and sophia means wisdom. So the people who love wisdom, they are philosophers, right? So those who love wisdom and knowledge in general should lead the society, should be leaders, okay? Should be first and lead the society. Lead, it's the verb from the word leaders. Leaders lead the society because they are leaders. They must be first. And they show what is good, what is wrong. They would make fair and wise decisions. What does it mean, fair decision? Fair decision is a correct decision. It's the decision which take care of everybody, takes care of everybody and everyone. It's a fair decision. Unfair decision is the decision which is not wise, not good, because one guy is winning, another guy is losing. And this is unfair. When you have unfairness in life, it is not good. It is not a true justice. Okay. You can say, man, the life is unfair today. It's not right, And philosophers, they make fair and wise decisions because they have good understanding of life. They're not sleeping. They're not ignorant. They do understand what's going on. I hope that idea is pretty clear. So the kings, presidents, managers should be philosophers. The next statement from Plato, his idea is about, I think I mispronounced this word before. The first part of the word is tripartite. Tripartite, I guess that's the correct. Let me double check the pronunciation. It's about three things, like people say thrice, that's the same. So tripartite, yes. So tripartite, it's the same as three sides of things, right? The tripartite soul, it means the soul that has three divided sides or parts. Tripartite, right? Three parts. Tri means three, part means parts, tite. Three parts of the soul, the tripartite soul. So Plato believed in the tripartite soul. It means that the soul has three parts. Plato divided the human soul into three parts, three branches. Reason, it's the branch number one. Spirit, it's the branch number two. And desire, it's a branch number three. So soul consists reasoning, spirit, and desire. And Plato, he believed that a balanced soul where reason controls the spirit and desire leads to a virtuous and happy life. Okay, so this idea of a tripartite soul is the balance. It's the belief in balance. If your soul is balanced, It means the voice of reason inside of you. Sometimes you feel this when you are in the store and you want to steal something. You have a voice of reason inside of you, right? This is the voice of reason speaks inside of you. And if you listen to your voice of reason, you can control your spirit. It's like your direction of life and your desires. If you listen to the voice of reasons, of your reason, it means that you can control the way you're living and the desires you have. For example, if I'm smoking a lot, it's my desire number one. I can ask and use the voice of reason. For example, the voice of reason telling me, do not smoke, it's killing your health. Do not smoke, it's killing your health. If I listen to the voice of my reason, I quit smoking. So this desire does not control my spirit anymore. So I live a different way of life. I'm becoming a healthier person. So I'm living a great, beautiful life without smoking addiction. It's a good spirit. It's a good way of living. See? So voice of reason, the desire, our bad habits maybe, or good habits, doesn't matter. And spirit, it's our way of living in general. So all of this is the idea of tripartite soul, that the soul has a balance between these three sides or branches. And the last but not least idea of Plato is the academy. So he had created a beautiful thing. It's called the academy. Plato founded one of the first known schools of philosophy. It's called the Academy in Athens. It was a place where students could study philosophy, mathematics, and science. This school lasted for nearly 900 years and influenced many future thinkers. Many great people had studied in the Academy of Plato. To be honest, even this guy, the artist Botticelli, right? Have you heard of this guy? He's an artist, beautiful artist. He has a beautiful artwork. I think it's called Spring or The Spring, something like this. It's beautiful. He was a philosopher, and the Academy influenced many areas of life because Plato was a philosopher. He had created the foundation of a good education, philosophical education, where people had studied and learned many great studies like philosophy, mathematics, science, and much more than that. Some people say that many people learned many spiritual things in the academy, and there were hidden knowledges had studied there as well. Some Egyptian hidden knowledges as well. But it's all the history now because the school lasted for nearly 900 years. We don't have it. But the word academy is still usable. Nowadays we use the word university, institute, academy. It's thanks for Plato. And the student of Plato was the guy Aristotle, right? And he had created the Lyceum. And Lyceum is another type of education place, right? It's a place for school. We have our standard school, right? And Lyceum and gymnasiums, right? So Lyceum was created by Aristotle, right? All of this is great. I mean, these 5 ideas can transform your life because Plato invested his lifetime into describing these great ideas, why all of these principles are important. So, of course, he invested a lot of time in the theory of forms. I think this idea is the greatest. That's why I called it as number 1. The second idea was the allegory of the cave, because the whole life is hidden from us for a reason. Maybe the government is hiding what the true reality is. And real managers must be philosophers. The good kings or presidents must be philosophers. If they're not, it leads to catastrophe. Philosophers leads to good future, but the people who are ignorant leads you to the disaster. The fourth idea was the tripartite soul. So this is the idea that the soul has three branches, three parts, and they are kind of in balance. And of course, the academy is the foundation of a philosophical education. So we had discussed it, guys. We got it. So we had learned some things that it's not good to be ignorant. It's not good to be stupid in this world. We need to learn day by day. And you are getting rid of your ignorance by learning English because you're becoming more advanced. You're becoming more wise by using English in your daily life because your brain developing step by step. And this is good. You're getting rid of your ignorance when you read books, when you try to learn something new. It's good. And when you balancing with your soul, when you listening the reason, when you're listening your voice of reason, it leads you to good things. And the voice of reason, I think this idea is generally came from Socrates. So he described this so much that he listened to his voice of reason for whole his life. He had listened, of course, and it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. And that's all for today, guys. Thank you all for listening of my little philosophical discussion today. We had discussed 5 interesting facts about Plato. So follow up our next episodes and listen to Emotional English as more as you can. If you didn't get the knowledge from this episode, listen it again and again and again. And with enough repetition, you will understand the episode enough for your development of the language. So let's stay in touch and have an amazing day. And I'll see you very, very soon. Have an amazing day. I hug you all. I kiss you all. Have a great, beautiful day. Bye-bye.